I think the biggest thing is it's just about our safety. We're so concerned about the safety on the court, but time and time again, we're having people threatening our lives, leaking addresses out there, putting crazy pictures that have nothing to do with basketball. So at some point, the league needs to put a stand on it. They came out with no hate speech, but I mean, what is that going to do? At some point, time and time again, players are going through this, and the league remains silent. So I'm sick and tired of it, and it's time for them to step up and have our backs in these instances.
Folks, this is the moment that just shattered the entire sports world. I was paid to hurt her. That's the confession now ripping through every headline, every locker room, every fan base. For months, the big sports networks tried to sell you a story. They said the vicious hits on Caitlin Clark were nothing. Just rookie treatment. Just physical basketball. But that story just fell apart in real time. Alyssa Thomas broke her silence minutes ago, and what came out of her mouth wasn't an apology. It was a confession that turns a simple rivalry into something far darker. People are calling it a conspiracy. And now, one legendary NBA name has stepped forward, pointing fingers at the exact person who allegedly funded the hit. This isn't just drama anymore. This is a story about a bounty, hiding in plain sight inside professional sports. The league is scrambling. The silence is over. And the truth? It's finally breaking through.
She's hitting the person who brought her all of that. That's why this story resonates. And I wish that we would hear from Kathy Engelbert about, is she concerned about Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark being injured? We haven't heard that. At least I certainly haven't heard anything publicly.
Kathy Engelbert, I guess her answer to you would be, well, we suspended her. We did what that speaks volumes. But then I saw yesterday they came out and defended Alyssa Thomas, which, okay, to your point, I get death threats all the time. I do, but I don't, and I had a stalker, a 10-year stalker, but I never went to the police on it because I deemed it fairly harmless. But I find it odd that they've never come out and supported Caitlin Clark in these instances. And is the suspension...
To really understand how big this scandal is, we need to rewind to the exact moment everything blew up on the court. For weeks, fans have been watching something ugly build up. Hit after hit aimed at Caitlin Clark. But in the last big game, it didn't just cross a line. It smashed right through it. Alyssa Thomas delivered a hit that looked planned. Sharp, aggressive, and shockingly deliberate. The whole arena froze. Nobody could believe what they just saw. When Clark hit the floor, the crowd didn't stay quiet. Boos rained down instantly. Nobody in that building was buying the "it's just basketball" excuse anymore. Fans saw exactly what it was, and the backlash hit fast. Sponsors got nervous. Network executives started scrambling behind closed doors. And suddenly, Alyssa Thomas was standing alone, staring down the end of her career. But here's the twist. Instead of quietly taking the fall so the league could save face, Thomas snapped. She realized she was about to be sacrificed to protect people way more powerful than her. So she made a choice. She decided to bring the whole thing down with her.
Much more toxicity, racism, homophobia, straight out nonsense, hate nonsense. And it is absolutely unacceptable. Most of this coming from the online community, most of this, in my heart of hearts, I believe not coming from WNBA fans, Indiana Fever fans. I believe that this is people who are using our league, using our players to further divisive agendas. It's not acceptable.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is, too, when you're doxing people's home addresses, when you are putting people's personal information out there, that is not being a fan of a sport. Obviously, this is escalated to a whole different level. This is a game that everyone should enjoy. This is entertainment. These are people's lives. This is other humans. These are personal attacks that are really serious.
But it's going to continue to happen because this is not enough. A statement from the league is not enough. Do you understand? This league has completely and always been about reaction and not action. They're always behind the eight ball. They're never ahead of the story. Every single time, it's behind the story. It's if I'm the league, I want to see screenshots of who is sending me these messages. I want them found. I want them banned from social media. I want them banned from any stadium, any arena. I want their jerseys taken out of there.
What came out next behind closed doors might be the ugliest cover-up story sports has seen in years. A leak surfaced, one that no network could bury. And in it, Alyssa Thomas didn't just say sorry. She pointed straight up the chain of command. She claimed the targeting of Caitlin Clark wasn't random. It wasn't emotion. It was planned, and someone paid for it. I was told to send a message. I can prove it. Thomas reportedly said behind closed doors. Think about what that means. A young superstar, rewriting the record books, shaking up the entire sport, and instead of adjusting, the old guard allegedly tried to slow her down with force. Paid force. The second that word, paid, hit the internet, everything changed. This wasn't a basketball story anymore. This was a legal problem, a financial problem, a credibility-ending problem for the league. And then came the final blow. For months, big names around the NBA had been watching quietly, clearly uncomfortable with how Clark was being treated. But once this confession leaked, one legendary NBA figure decided silence was no longer an option. Using his massive platform and influence, he came out swinging, demanding a full, independent investigation into where that money actually came from.
The fan base to go and start a barnstorming league, go around, like a Harlem Globetrotter. I'm not saying she's going to, folks. I want to keep saying that. I'm not saying that for all our friends out there. An awful announcing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, though, that there is one person who could do it. One person that, it's all kind of fun. One person who could do it is Caitlin Clark.
This September marks the 25th anniversary of 9/11, and Tunnels to Tower is marking it in a big way. Our Steel Across America's tour is carrying steel from the World Trade Center to 35 cities nationwide. And along the way, we're paying off 343 mortgages, one for every firefighter lost on September 11th, 2001. For Gold Star and fallen first responder families, help us honor their sacrifice and help America never forget. Visit T2T.org. Oh, it's the gift that keeps on giving. The WNBA continues to implode, and now we've got the Victim Olympics. Dun, 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 dun. It's the Victim Olympics. We now heard from the throat puncher herself, Alyssa Thomas. Close your eyes and see what the angry African-American lesbian would say. Would she say, "My bad, hope Caitlin Clark is doing..."
Listen up, because what you're about to hear just changed everything. The legend didn't hold back. He looked the commissioner dead in the eye and said something close to, "You won't wreck this game's future just to protect a few bruised egos." No script, no filter, just raw truth. And now the walls are caving in. Fans are furious. A basketball legend is applying pressure from the very top. And the one person who actually knows where the money trail leads. She's still talking. The people behind this alleged setup are officially out of hiding spots. What started as a quiet, controlled situation just turned into the biggest crisis of their careers, and it's picking up speed by the hour. Alyssa Thomas lit the match. NBA legends are demanding real answers, and league officials are standing right in the middle of the fallout. One thing is certain, basketball will not look the same after this. So tell me, do you think this scandal reaches all the way to the top? Drop your take below, because this story is just getting started.
Anything like it.
Even within that, though, how aware do you have to be of the 8 technical fouls?
I mean, I'm going to play with emotion. I'm going to play with passion. And if they're going to give me a technical foul for clapping, then so be it. That's their choice. And the league can come back and review that play. And I'd love to hear what they say of the reasoning of why I got the technical foul in that situation and why other players on their team didn't get a technical foul in that situation. If anything, split it. Okay, fine. Everybody gets a technical foul. That wasn't how they were handed out. So I'd love to know. But obviously, that's what I went to the girl and said. I said, why'd you give me a technical foul? She said, because I was clapping and instigating. I said, okay, then you just don't like competitive basketball. And that's just facts. That's just reality. So
the question is the league actually going to fine her for these comments? Because that's just going to be a whole new set of drama. They're going to get destroyed if they end up doing that.
Players on their team didn't get a technical foul in that situation. If anything, split it. Okay, fine. Everybody gets a technical foul. That wasn't how they were handed out. So I'd love to know. But obviously, that's what I went to the girl and said. I said, why'd you give me a technical foul? She said, because I was clapping and instigating. I said, okay, then you just don't like competitive basketball. And that's just facts. That's just reality. So disappointing from them.
Clapping is now instigating. But throwing a bionic elbow is not, right? Throwing this bionic elbow right here. Let's just jump right there.
Thomas, I'm going to take a look at.
Throwing this elbow, that's not instigating.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to get.
Throwing the bionic elbow is not instigating, right?
That's not going to.
We're not doing that.
I don't think. Oof.
The illegal contact is initiated by Caitlin Clark. She comes across the arm into the body and hip of Thomas. The result of the play will be 2 free throws because of the defensive foul, and we're in the penalty. This is a successful challenge. The timeout will be charged to Indiana because they're due. Phoenix will retain their timeout.
Just like we thought, right?
Caitlin's
Looking over at us like, what did I do?
What the fudge? Caitlin Clark's right. What the fudge is that? What is that nonsense? Seriously. I mean, wow. It's crazy. She's finally realizing she can be the heel and still be the baby face. Caitlin 316. Wait until Cunningham gets attacked for pointing. I wonder, I mean, they actually going to end up finding Sophie or Caitlin? Caitlin, either one? Are they gonna come down on Sophie for finger pointing? I mean, seriously.
Should heads roll for this? That's the question everyone's asking right now, and honestly, it's a fair one. Think about what we just laid out. A confession, a leak, a legend stepping into the fire. And now people all over the internet are asking the same burning question. Does this end with real consequences? Do the executives allegedly behind this bounty system deserve criminal charges? Do they deserve to be banned from the sport for life? Because right now, based on everything coming out, a simple apology just isn't going to cut it anymore. Let's be honest with ourselves for a second. If any of this is true, if a player really was pushed, pressured, or paid to target a generational talent like Caitlin Clark just to slow her down, that's not a basketball story. That's not even a sports scandal at this point. That's something far more serious. That's the kind of thing that ends careers, ends reputations, and rightfully so. And here's the thing that makes this even bigger. This isn't some random internet rumor anymore. This is coming from inside the walls. This is coming from a player who was right there, in the middle of it, and from names in the NBA world who have absolutely nothing to gain by lying about something like this. When people with that much credibility start speaking up, you have to stop and ask yourself, why would they risk everything unless they truly believed something wrong happened here? So now the question shifts to you, the fans. Because let's be real, none of this comes to light without if that sits wrong with you, and it should, now is the time to make your voice heard. Say it plainly in the comments. Tell us exactly how you feel about this. No filter, no holding back. Do you believe this goes all the way to the top? Do you think this ends in real charges? Or do you think the league quietly buries this the same way they've buried everything else? Whatever your take is, drop it below, because these comment sections are becoming part of the story now. And if you're someone who believes Caitlin Clark deserves fairness, deserves protection, and deserves to compete without fear of being targeted like this, then show it. Hit that like button right now. Not just to support this video, but to support the idea that talent should win, not politics, not backroom deals, not hidden agendas. But listen closely, because this story is not finished. Not even close. We are sitting on another update, one that digs even deeper into where the money allegedly came from, and who really signed off on it. That update is coming very soon, and trust me, you do not want to be scrolling past it later wondering what you missed. So make sure notifications are turned on. Make sure you're following along closely, because the moment that next piece drops, this story takes an even bigger turn, and you'll want to be here for it, right from the very first second. Stay ready, stay locked in, because the truth on this one is just getting started, and it is not stopping anytime soon.